What is going on, everybody? This is Justin Bricker. I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 of the Why Not podcast. I flirted with the idea of doing an intro for these podcasts because I wanted them to seem and be as real as possible, and a pre-roll at the beginning of something of a conversation or whatever is, to me, doesn't feel as authentic. But I decided that it's going to be the best route, just to take care of some I guess you call them housekeeping issues, to quote my buddy Adam Meredith. But just to let you guys know what's going to be going on in the episode, or who I'm talking to, and why you should tune in, and if you choose not to tune in, that decision's for you to be made, and I think that could be made right here in the intro, whatever. But so on today's episode we have Jon Alexander. Jon Alexander is a filmmaker and all around creative from here in St. Louis, and the guy's the true definition of hustle, and really doing everything he can to live and be his own lifestyle and do what it takes to make him happy, and that's going to be the overall goal and message of this podcast. It's called Why Not for a reason. I've always flirted with the question of why can't that be me? Why can't I be the one who has everything I want? Why can't I be happy? Or not even just happy. Why can't I have the things that I want, or be the places that I want to be, or the man that I want to be, or the person you choose to be someday? So, and I put together this podcast so we could start to tell the journey of these people. And obviously with episode 1 it wasn't quite the case, and the reason I released episode 1 as my first one is because Adam was planning to as well. And for those who haven't tuned in, episode 1, why not have an outside perspective on an unfiltered bachelor? There's a swap cast between myself, my good friend Adam Meredith, host of the Outside Perspective podcast, and my newfound road dog, Blake Money Mayweather Stevenson, host of the Loaded Joe's podcast, and his new series, The Unfiltered Bachelor. Originally, we went down to Austin. Adam was going down for a jiu-jitsu certification. A steel mace certification, and I was going to be in a jiu-jitsu tournament. We reached out to Blake to kind of do his podcast, and things got a little out of hand from there. It was a good time, a good drunken adventure. But back to today's podcast. Today's podcast, like I said, is with Jon Alexander, and this podcast was actually recorded the day after Halloween, but it's just now being released tomorrow. When this comes out, it will be December 6th. It's just not being released because I didn't want to put out content and not be able to have something to follow up immediately. So a few of these episodes are recorded from months back. Just trying to organize people in a timely manner, and people's schedules don't always line up, especially when it's not exactly at the top of their priority list, but which I understand. So, like I said, today's episode is from about a month and a half ago now, but we discuss some upcoming projects that Jon has in the works. One that Jon had just dropped, a small short horror film that he dropped for Halloween, and all this stuff will be attached to the show notes, and there'll be links in the bio. Like I said, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but today's episode 2, the chillest of seasons, with Jon Alexander. Hope you enjoy. All right, sound good?
Yep.
Sound good, man. Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate you fucking taking the time to sit down with me. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, dude. For about at least 7 years now. When did you start doing the STL ciphers?
Yeah, that was 2011.
2011?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's shit. 7 years. The way I found you actually was Joey Pieper, Yak Boy Fresh.
Yeah.
So we had a good mutual friend in high school that actually passed away in a boating accident, and we kind of just connected over music and that, and you know, he put me onto your stuff, and like I said, man, I've been following you ever since. So it's pretty cool for me to kind of sit down with somebody I shouldn't say I've like looked up to you, but I've been a fan of you for a long time. You know?
For sure.
So that's awesome.
It's dope.
And so you've had some things going on recently. You just dropped a short film last night, and then how long ago did you drop Cycle?
So we dropped the first one in February of this year.
Okay.
And then the next one is coming out probably between this month and next month.
Oh, so it's a two-part.
Yeah. So eventually I want to get it into like a web series.
Okay.
Because there's so many stories to tell. I don't want to like just put it into like a short film, you know, format.
Right. And for the people listening, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, go ahead.
For the people listening, why don't you give them a brief overview of what Cycle is, and you know what you're going through or what you're trying to accomplish with these short films.
Right. So Cycle it started off as a pitch for another short film that I'm working on. And I showed it at this event called The Creative Process because I didn't have any content for the film that I was pitching. So it's about this young black man who is kind of like the product of his environment. You know, just kind of like going with like how he grew up and like the things that he knows, and he witnesses a good friend of his get shot and killed like right in front of him. So they kind of like puts him on a path of like, does he want to continue the life that he's known or like try to make something better? And that's where the title Cycle comes in. Right. Like, you know, not trying not to continue the cycle. Right,
get caught up in, you know, the same situation that many people here in St. Louis face every single day.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's awesome, man. There's not too many people out there who are trying to not only make a difference, but to, you know, create as well. And, you know, as long as I've been following you, not only have you been trying to create, but you've been trying to create a difference as well.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel, you know, I notice it, everybody else around here notices it, you know. I feel that's been a good driving factor for, you know, the success that you have. You know, you're such a good person, you're trying to do right, good things happen to you, man. So talk about the project you just dropped last night.
Oh, so
you project. Your face lit up when I said that, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's called High Beams. I've always wanted to drop something for Halloween. I dropped something like 4 years ago on Halloween. It's a music video with Trixie and my homeboy Fresh and Nova. But I've always wanted to drop something for Halloween. I love horror movies. Like I grew up watching them all the time.
Yeah, for anybody who wants a good Halloween or scary movie breakdown, you're a good follow on Twitter. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I've been watching horror movies since I was a kid. So I guess I'm like an aficionado. So I wanted to create a short film that's like horror based or whatever. So a friend of mine, Jessica Page, he tweeted about this urban legend that was like hot in the 90s or whatever, or big in like the mid to late 90s. Centered around like a gang initiation kind of thing, where like a person will ride around with their headlights off until somebody like flash or high beams at them to signal like to turn them on, and they will follow that person and kill them to get initiated into the gang. So there was a huge like urban legend. Like I remember hearing all the time when I was younger. I don't know how true it is or like if anything ever really happened, but I know like some of my family, they never like flashed their high beams. I never did it when I started driving.
Right, me neither. I don't know if it's a St. Louis thing or like.
So I wasn't trying to find out if it was true or not.
Hell no.
But yeah, the short film was based off of that. We had hella fun like filming it. We met up like around 6:30, and then we shot till like 2:30 in the morning, and it was super dope. It was fun.
Did you write it, or did you and some other people?
So I didn't really write anything. I just kind of had the concept already, and then just kind of like freestyled. Put together a shot list. I knew like how I wanted it to look, how I wanted to shoot it. I knew like how many people I needed, like to like talent wise and crew wise. So I just put out a tweet and an Instagram story like, yo, shooting a horror short on, you know, this popular urban legend. I need some help, and you know, people reached out. You know, thankfully the people were down to like help out or whatever. So it was dope.
That's awesome. So how long does something like that take to put together? Is it based on, you know, the project or
Yeah, so it depends on the project. This one was like a super quick turnaround because I wanted to drop it on Halloween. I definitely, if I could, I would have spent a little bit more time on it. But so like I said, we met up at 6:30 in the evening. We went to the first location around 7:30 to set up. Like we sent, so I'll just kind of like break down the schedule because we shot movie like 6:30 to 2:30 in the morning. Like that's a long time. So people down in production don't really know what happens between that time. So we met up. We kind of like talked about the concept with my DP, director of photography, Joe Tello, and my first assistant camera, Alex Scott, and he also did the audio mix. So we got together, kind of talked about the shot list, lighting, scheduling, like what we wanted to shoot first, because it was like really guerrilla, like we didn't have permits to shoot anywhere, so it's like we got to be in and out, wherever we go, and it was a weeknight, so.
Thank you, sir.
So, we couldn't be out too late or bothering people too late. Appreciate it.
Right, especially out in public.
Yeah.
So where were most of the scenes filmed at?
So they were all in North County. So a lot of people in North County are familiar with that gas station Hucks. Like a lot of people that grew up in that in Florissant area, they know that gas station. So that was kind of like a call to that area for like a lot of my peers and stuff. So we shot at the gas station and we shot like within a neighborhood and then shot some scenes driving around. So we went to the first location, which was a super like desolate road, no lights. It was like pitch black. We had a lighting and a generator, lighting setup, generator and all of that. But the generator went out on us. So we spent like an hour and a half trying to like get that all back together and get it working.
Right.
So that like cut into a lot of our time and we never got it working, so we had to improvise and go like half a mile down the street.
So how fast was the turnaround on this? I know you said this you didn't get to spend as much time as you wanted.
Yeah, we shot it on the 25th of October.
Oh wow! So
we dropped it on the 31st.
A real fast turnaround. Yeah. I was thinking maybe a month or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were grinding. Like,
that's awesome.
So we went to another location. We got those shots off. We went to Hooters on Lindbergh, had some food, then finished up at the Hucks gas station. And luckily, the people there I was kind of worried about the gas station because we were there pretty late. But luckily, the person that was working was like a young guy, and he was like,
hell yeah,
he was like watching, yeah. So it was cool.
Looking back, making sure he could get in the shot. Yeah. That's what's up.
So yeah, it was so dope, man. Super dope.
So how long have you actually been making films or attempting to make films? And
I would say 2011, maybe around 2013, 2014 is when I started to focus more on short films.
Right.
So when I first got in, I did a lot of music videos and
right, like I said, that's how I found you.
Yeah, and then the ciphers, event recaps, like all kind of stuff. Like around 2014, I kind of like wanted to do my own thing. So it kind of started around 2014.
Okay, and how old are you now?
How old am I?
Yeah.
27.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found you right after you started really getting into things.
Okay. Yep, I was like 20 years old when I first started. I was like fresh out of college. And my college was accelerated, so I only went for 2 years. I was done in 2 years. So.
Nice. Did you go to school here locally or?
The Full Sail.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So and that was right when it was really booming too. Yeah. Okay. You did it all online, or did you actually go down to Full Sail?
I actually went down there.
Okay.
And it was dope. I went like right after I graduated in May, and I was down in Orlando in July.
Okay, you graduated in 2009?
High school 2009, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for the people that know, Full Sail it's all audio engineering, photography, digital media production.
Yeah, graphic design, like
a college based strictly on that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a trade school for like the creative, like side of things.
Right. Yeah. So now, are you just doing mostly freelance stuff? And so, being an entrepreneur is, a tough feat in itself. But being, an entrepreneur in a creative space where everything's, subjective to opinion and everything like that, how does what are some challenges you think you've faced in that as opposed to just a regular entrepreneur?
I feel like if it's anything different, it's like something very micro, something very like centered towards filmmaking, as far as like getting something done. But for the most part, it's you gotta go get your check. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go chase it. You gotta please people. You gotta network and politic and all of that stuff.
So have you found yourself doing a lot of the work that you don't want to do, or are you just doubling down on, all right, shit, this is the stuff I know I love. This is the stuff I know I want to shoot. And you're just, like I said, doubling down and going after all of that?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I was like doing whatever I could, you know what I'm saying? And probably like 2 years ago, 2015, 2016, is when I started to like take that leap to do things that I wanted to do. So I say like around 2014, I kind of figured I wanted to like go towards short films and documentaries. 2015, 2016 is when I like started doing it and actually taking it on. And,
did it take the time to just build up the courage to do that, or were you just starting to get kind of burnt out on doing the shit that you don't want to do and having like second thoughts?
Yeah, so it was getting burnt out on stuff, and then also finding out that I don't really like shooting weddings.
Right,
It's not fun at all. I don't. Events are cool. I still shoot an event every now and then because you usually get free food or beer.
Right. Yeah. So, the wedding, you can't enjoy the open bar. None of that. None of the good stuff.
You got to deal with the bride and her vision and
the bridezilla.
Yeah. Nothing is ever perfect. Which I mean, I understand, but I just don't want to be in that position again.
You got any wedding horror stories?
Thankfully, nothing too crazy.
Good. That's good.
Thankfully, I like stopped before I ended my career.
You saw the future. You seen that coming.
It was like, oh man, it's been like a few things where I may have missed a shot of this or a shot of that, but nothing huge that like made or like make or break the video or whatever.
Right.
And from that, I'm like, man, that's too much stress, because I know I was stressing out about missing this little piece that I know would have made the film better. And now I'm like, if I missed a kiss or something else, like how am I even gonna like bounce back from that?
Right.
So, like,
you can't go back and reshoot. No edits. I hear you.
Yeah.
So what are you focused on now? I've seen some of the stuff you did when you partnered with Vess, and you and Drew Brown did some stuff for them. Yeah. He's a monster too.
That's my dude, man.
Yeah, he's such a creative mind, man. I love to watch his stuff.
Man, yeah, I really enjoy working with him. Like, he reminds me a lot of like myself when I was younger. Like he doesn't care about barriers. Like if he wants a vision, if he wants a shot or whatever, he's gonna go get it. He's gonna make it happen.
Yeah, how many times do you think he's been in the hospital in the last 2-3 years,
man,
trying to get a shot?
Right. Who knows? Yeah, he's so cold, man. His drone work is crazy.
Flawless.
Yeah,
his drone work is flawless.
So yeah, man, Drew he's definitely my favorite filmmaker out of St. Louis.
Yeah, and he's pretty young too, right? He just turned 21, I think.
Yeah, just turned 21.
But yeah, he's a young dude, and he's been, I mean, for as long as I can remember, he's been making films, when he was in high school. So I think he's just always been working. He's got a pretty cool story too.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah,
and he's all over the world these days. That's good.
I think he's down in Florida now.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. Now he's in Florida. So who are some of your other favorite creatives here in town, whether it's music or art or photography? Because there's so much stuff that goes on in the city that, one, people don't take the time to try and figure out and don't even know that it's out there. You know? And like I said, for as long as I've been following you, man, you've been the first on these low-key guys or these low-key food spots or, all the stuff that's on the come up. So why don't you tell the people about, like I said, your favorite places or some of your favorite artists from here locally?
Jessica J. Page, she's super dope with photography. I love her work. Mike Roth, he's been holding down with music videos, St. Louis music videos for years. His stuff is dope. Fresh Nova, hip hop artist here. Been knowing him since like 2011. He's super dope. Trina Rager, she's a dope photographer.
She is legit too. Yeah. She's pretty young too, right?
Yeah. She's like 21, maybe 22. No, she's probably like 20 or 21. Yeah, she's super dope. homie Preach. He's getting out here doing this photography thing. Man, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of talent.
I was gonna say, I know there's probably so many out there, and people are gonna be mad that you forgot them. But it's all right. We'll tag them in the comments. It'll be good.
Definitely.
Well, that's what's up, man. So talk about some of these food places too. Like every time I see you, you're somewhere new. You're at an opening. You're at a tasting or somewhere.
Yeah. I fell into like the restaurant scene here like randomly. I think it started in 2013 when Strange Donuts first opened up. And they had like a soft opening, and they tweeted out, "We need a videographer to like capture this." And my homie Adrian Walker, he like tagged me and put me in contact with Strange. So I shot that, and I did a lot of work with them since then. And I guess they kind of like ushered me into like the food industry. I met Quee from My Lead, that's the homie. I was actually there last night, getting some food. I saw him last night. Bob from Bird and Barrel, I think I reached out to him for the best thing. So yeah, Miley is good. Bird and Barrel, really love it. Strange Donuts, Master Pizza, and Master Pizza is so bomb.
Where's Master Pizza?
So they were like right down the street, but he has well, I don't know if he's announced his plan yet, so I can't say. But
fair enough.
They're working on something. Yeah.
Confidentiality. That's good. That's good. At least you're in the know.
Yeah.
It feels good to have those secrets.
It's dope. Yeah. That's the dope thing about St. Louis. Like once you get into like an industry or field or whatever, like start working with different people, like you meet everybody else. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not like an asshole or anything, like you'll be good. You know what I'm saying? You'll just meet everybody and get invited to certain things and all kind of stuff is dope.
That's awesome, man. Any advice for somebody who's trying to make it in this industry, in this town, in a place where I feel like from my knowledge, St. Louis has a reputation of not really taking care of each other. Most of the people are too worried about their own shine. They don't see that somebody else's success is not your failure. So what kind of advice do you have for, like I said, somebody in the creative field coming up in this environment?
It's very, very simple advice. And it's so simple that I hate saying it, but like just create, like just do stuff. Like
consistency.
Yeah, like you don't even have to put everything out. Get out there and practice. Like see what you're good at, see what you need to improve on. See what you like doing, see what you like, what kind of music you like making, what kind of things you like to shoot, what kind of like graphics you like to make, like explore like your creative mind, your creative realm, and then get out and do things and don't be afraid to put them out and don't get too caught up in like the analytics of like, oh, these people didn't like,
I only got like 5 10 views,
likes. Yeah, that can be, I think that's the biggest like hurdle a lot of creatives like get, like run into. But it's like you can't get caught up on that because if you're consistently putting out quality content, like people gonna see. I still got stuff from like 2013. I'm like, man, this is still dope, and I feel like I ain't getting enough love. But you just gotta
bring it back around. Hell yeah.
You gotta keep pushing, and if you're really true to your craft and what you're doing, like you're gonna have ideas for the rest of your life. You're gonna have things you can execute on for the rest of your life. So if that didn't pop off, guess what? You're going to make something 2 times better than that. You know what I'm saying? And then people that catch on, later or whatever, they're going to be able to look back and appreciate and see the growth from this, this spot. So this is eventually going to get some love. It might not be right now, but, you just got to keep pushing. And
right. It's like say you find a new artist. Or a new rapper or something, they got one hot song out, right? Like, damn, this is my shit. But now, let me go online and see what else they got, because if this is hot, they got to have some other hot stuff. Right. Now, not everything's going to get traction, but at least it'll be there for somebody to look at.
Exactly, you got it in the archive.
Right.
Yeah, and also, don't be afraid to reach out to other people to like collaborate or ask for help on your projects and stuff like that. Especially once you start to build a name for yourself and people know like your work ethic and your quality and stuff like that, people are going to want to help, and they're not always looking for something in return. And you can't do everything on your own. That's something that I struggle with. I try to do a lot of stuff on my own.
Right, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And that's something I've really been focusing on myself a lot lately, is you know, what do they say? It takes a village. Everybody's got their own tribe. They say those things for a reason. You know, it's true. There is no one-man wolf pack, you know?
No, you only get to a certain point. You hit a glass, you hit a ceiling if you just doing it by yourself.
Because you're so focused on one thing or all these different things, you're not seeing one small detail from another set of eyes or, you know, something like that. So I think another thing a lot of people struggle with is being able to push forward. You know, like you said, it's all about just being able to create. Create. Obviously, you know, you go through highs and you go through lows. What are some things that you've helped do or that have helped you get over those lows and not focus too high on the highs? Because obviously it's good to appreciate your work, but you can always improve, and you know there's going to be times you're going to be stuck, right?
Yeah.
So
you gotta step away. Like anytime I feel like I can't do something, I can't like think, I can't like conceptualize or whatever, I step away. Like one of my favorite things to do is to go to the park. Like it's on my Instagram stories all the time. Like I like going hiking, I like getting out there and clearing my head. And you know, being around nature kind of like recenters me and makes me feel like, okay, everything is cool. Everything is not bad as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta like reset and chill. Meditating, I don't do it as often as I want to or need to, but when I do, it always helps. So, you know, just, it's all like, everything centers around like clearing my head. So the park, hiking, meditating, I go to the movies often. It's kind of like my escape from the real world, and also an opportunity to study, you know, great filmmakers. So those are a few things that I do to just kind of like get me back on track.
And speaking of film, like actual filmmaking, what do you feel the current state of filmmaking is? You know, most of the movies that are coming out these days are reboots, or it's a superhero movie, or it's a series. And I should say a series of movies. And most people are trending towards, you know, the bingeable series online, or like, you know, it's hard for me to sit down and after watching, you know, a season of Game of Thrones and go and sit down and watch a movie that's an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, well, where the hell's the rest of the story? You know? So I guess the question behind this really is, do you see the film industry dying as like, you know, the 2 hour go sit in the theater, or do you think it's going to go towards, you know, more of like I said, Game of Thrones, which is, you know, a season's a 12-hour movie, essentially, you know what I'm saying? It's in my opinion, a cinematic masterpiece, you know, from start to finish. So yeah, like I said, so do you think, you know, it's dying off, or from somebody in the know?
So I think it's definitely leaning towards like what you just said, like Game of Thrones and you know, series like Black Mirror and Westworld and stuff like that, where like each episode is an hour or maybe like a little bit over an hour long, and you got 10 episodes in a season, so there's like 10 hours, like a super long movie. And you know, things are more so on demand now, so you can just like kind of watch it at your leisure. So I think that's definitely kind of taking a lot away from like actually going to the theater. But at the same time, and this could be just me personally, this could be like a dying opinion, but I love going to the theater, you know what I'm saying?
The big screen, the smell of the popcorn, makes me think about being a little kid. My grandpa used to take me every Saturday, you know what I'm saying? I love going to movies, and like it'll kill me to see the day that, you know, I mean, how long has Warenberg Theaters been here? Your whole life, and now they're gone. Now they're Marcus Center. I don't know Marcus. You know what I'm saying? I don't know your song, bro.
Like, I know Warenberg.
Yeah, I know both songs. You know, when they changed it for the anniversary. You know. So it's like.
But I do like the movie subscription services that are out. Like I use the AMC A-list, and I think that may kind of get people back out to.
Is that different than Movie Pass?
Essentially, it's the same thing, but the pricing is different.
Okay. Because I just don't understand how Movie Pass could be sustainable for.
Yeah, and that's why they went bankrupt.
Is it already done?
Well, it's not bankrupt. They're still out there, but they had to change their plan like completely up. Like their stock fell down to it's still down to like 2 cents a stock. So like they took a huge crash because like you said, it wasn't sustainable.
It's just a bubble, and that's kind of where I am with, you know, streaming as well. You know, like Netflix is putting 500,000, 500 million, whatever it is, behind one show, but how many people are signing up for Netflix every day?
Right.
Or, you know, probably not too many. And then, you know, the whole concept of Movie Pass, for the people who don't know, is you pay, what, $120 for the whole year? Or what was it? Or you could pay monthly fee. And you could go certain times to any movie theater that was accepting Movie Pass, and you got a free ticket for one movie a day, right?
Yeah, at one point it was one movie a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did that for maybe a little under a year, and that's when everything came crashing down, and now it's like 3 movies a month or something like that now.
Yeah.
But AMC, so I used MoviePass until their customer service got horrible when everything came crashing down.
Right,
so,
when shit started to hit the fan, they didn't step to the side.
Yeah, so I use AMC now, so it's $20 a month. You can see up to 3 movies a week.
A week? Wow, okay.
And that's plenty for me.
Yeah, for you, absolutely.
Yeah, you can reserve on the app. You can buy your snacks or whatever, everything. Like it's a complete experience, and it's super convenient. So I use that. And yeah, I use that to go, like right now, I haven't been to the movies in like 2 weeks, which is like different for me. I'm usually at the
itching
movies,
right
like,
now.
At least maybe twice a week. So I'm like, once I leave here, I'm definitely hitting the movies because it's been a while for me. But yeah, I'm hoping like subscription services like that keep the theaters open because it's a much different experience getting out, sitting in the chairs, like you said, smelling the popcorn, the sound system around you.
Chair vibrating now, because everything's so nice these days.
Yeah.
They had to make accommodations to keep everybody around because now you can get a 90-inch TV, you could get a 150-inch, projector screen that's, laser DVD quality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they had to do something. But I just, with all the reboots, with the cost of how, with the cost of everything, because I mean, yeah, if you're paying $20 a month for the Movie Pass, that's great. But are you getting your snacks for under $6 a box?
Sure,
and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess they're always going to make their money on ancillary services. But so, I guess what I'm really trying to get at would be, do you think it's all going to stay sustainable with how lazy everybody is, and if I can stream this on my house, or do you think it's going to go from, okay, you take your AMC Movie Pass and now we have the AMC app and you watch your movies on there. This is where you watch all your new movies.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it went that way. It'd be a sad day if I see theaters closing in my lifetime.
Right.
I don't think it'll be in my lifetime. If anything, it'll evolve into something. I don't know what it'll evolve into. But yeah, I mean, we still have some drive-in theaters around. So
yeah, I go to Skyview, the one in Belleville, at least 3 times a year. Especially now, if you get the Groupon, bro. $14, you get a popcorn, 2 tickets, and 2 movies, and you can bring in all your own stuff. Yeah. I think if anything, drive-ins will be around longer than brick and mortar movie theaters. Because of one, the retro aspect people love. That it's coming back. Everything's coming back. Like podcasts. Podcasts are blowing up. Well, now because it's radio that you can control. And you can take them everywhere. And radio at one time was the king. Terrestrial radio's dead. Podcasts are taking over. But yeah, I think the idea of going and sitting in a movie theater where you have to pay, $20 for 2 tickets plus all that. I think that's good. I think that'll slowly go away. Especially with the way, like I said, series are being shot and written now. Series aren't written to have cliffhangers to make you wait until next week. It's like, oh shit, I gotta hit next. So series are meant to be binged now, and I don't know if it's because of maybe the way the human brain's programmed, ADD. Motherfuckers like, I gotta have it now. I gotta have it now. But so do you think like actual series where you wait a week? Because Game of Thrones, now you have to wait until Sunday. But it's like, how many Game of Thrones or Westworlds are we gonna have left where people are really going to be doing that?
Right.
Or as I guess the attention spans get shorter and shorter and shorter. So what do you feel? Do you think there's any benefits to this bingeable model, or as opposed to what it was before?
how Netflix drops the whole series, you know, to make it available. I love it because I can binge,
right?
But I hate it because I get through it so fast. You know what I'm saying?
So, and do you think that's like an analytical thing that they do? Like, okay, cool, we know you're gonna like this, so we're gonna give it all to you at once, and now you're gonna want more. It's like, oh fuck, now I gotta wait. What else do they have? What else do they have?
Exactly. I think that's exactly what it is.
Tapping that vein.
Because Netflix has plenty of content now where you can get through a series in a week and be like, damn, I need some more. And then they got the suggestions right there of things that are like similar, and you find something else you like. And then they have older shows that you could always go back and watch, like The Office and stuff like that. So they constantly have content that you can like watch, and then before you know it, the new season is back up. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think it does. I think that does work in Netflix's favor because they have so much content to hold you over.
Right. Because how empty do you feel? Like it's one. Like, did you watch Ozark?
Yes.
The first season of Ozark. It's like, holy shit! Now I gotta wait an entire year for this.
Yeah, and I finished the second one. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's like, well, there went 14 straight hours, and now I have nothing else to do.
Right.
I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna try and find hopefully something like this.
Exactly. Like, damn, what am I gonna do now? And then you just sit there waiting now.
Anything you watching now?
Nothing yet. I just finished season 2 of Ozark. I'm waiting for season 2 of Mindhunter, but I don't think that's coming till next year. I heard The Haunting
of
the Hill House or something. I heard that was good.
I heard that was really good. I'm surprised you haven't watched that. I guess it dropped when you were shooting and edited and everything.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to like sit down. Like that's like all I'm doing today is like after we wrap up here, I'm gonna hit the movies, and later I'm probably just like watch some stuff on Netflix or whatever because I haven't really had the time to chill for real this month. So I might check that out. But yeah, I'm not watching anything new now. I'm watching like a bunch of like old favorite shows like Entourage and.
So you're an HBO guy, okay?
Yeah.
So we have to talk The Wire then. I know you've seen The Wire.
Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite show of all time. What's your order? Everybody's got their order of favorite seasons.
Man. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I might have to.
Right, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, I might have to like tag that in the comments, like what's the releases, because I gotta like sit down and analyze some stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that season. I mean, not that season. That series like just changed the game, and that's kind of like what I modeled Cycle after because. And
I could tell.
Yeah, because like the rawness of it, like Capshawn, the lead in Cycle, like he's never like acted anything for real. But the storyline is like parallel to his life.
So like Snoop.
Yeah. So I tell him the story. I tell him, okay, this is what we're trying to like get out of the story. This is what I want you to do. This and that. I write a loose script and then we kind of go over it and then we just roll the camera and see what we get. And he's really dope. I'm looking forward to working with him some more. Yeah.
Well, he's probably got so much. I mean, if you say the story of Cycle is parallel to his everyday life, he's probably got a lot of emotion built up inside him. One that he doesn't know how to express, and living a street life, and especially in a city like this. You show any emotion, you're weak. You're not allowed to. You know. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you connected with him. This is probably something like this could, like I said, I don't know his story, but something like this could save his life, or somebody like him, somebody who sees it, somebody that he knows.
That's the goal, because in the second one, we're exploring him attempting to go to therapy for the first time. So I want to use his character as a catalyst for like young black men, young men in general that can identify with him, to feel like, oh damn, like he witnessed his friend get killed in front of him, and then now he's taking this huge step to try to go to therapy. Maybe I should do it. At least get people to like toy around with the idea. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal with it. And it's been really dope. The second one, he had like some of his family members and friends play a few like cameo roles and stuff like that. So they got to see like the production aspect of it. They really liked it. So
nice.
I think once we like get the second one out and like get the series rolling and everything like that, I think it'll be like a good thing for everybody.
And you said you're going to make a web series.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do it as like a monthly thing, or like obviously there's been some time in between these two,
right,
just to kind of build the idea, or I mean I'm not sure if at the beginning was it your intention to do a web series or just I know you said it was supposed to be for a short film, but what the goal was to make a web series out of it.
Yeah, after we released the first one, which was just supposed to be like a one-off, we got like so much good feedback. People were like, damn, what's gonna happen next? So
real quick, tell everybody where they can find Cycle and High Beams.
You can find them both on my website, which is chillseason.me. It's chillseason.me, or just follow me on Instagram at chillseason, and I post a lot of stuff on there. I forgot my train of thought.
Sorry.
You all good. You had to plug that in real quick.
Yeah, talking about Cycle and making it a web series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it just turned into something else, and like as I was writing the second one, there were like a few characters that are like cameo characters, and it's like, damn, these characters that they only have like maybe 1 or 2 lines, but they're a big impact on Capshawn's life, the main character's life. They're a huge impact on why he is who he is, why he needs to go to therapy, why he saw his friend get killed. So if we're gonna explore his story, we gotta explore the story of the people around him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And see like who he is and where he came from and why he is the way he is. So that's why I wanted to turn it into a series, because there's so much to explore outside of just him.
And the series based on him and his surrounding life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're a product of your environment until you choose not to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They think, oh well, this is where I'm at. I'm stuck. This is what I got to do.
Right.
This is the life I was born into.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize there's been, even if it was just one person who's in the exact same situation as them and made it different. That can happen. That's an option.
Yep.
And it just takes something like this, or preaching about going to therapy, which I think not nearly enough people do therapy, especially men, especially inner city black men. Like I said, people see it as weak, and you're supposed to be putting on this tough exterior or whatever. Like, fuck that. We all got feelings. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be a person if you didn't have feelings.
Right.
So no, man, I think that's really amazing. That So how many episodes are you trying to do with this? Do you know?
So for the first run, I want to do 5. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the flow
5-part
of it.
series.
Yep.
And then are you gonna switch aspects of characters from from somebody else, or? So
within these 5 episodes, we're gonna each episode is gonna explore a different aspect of his life.
Okay.
So the first 2, the very first film and the second one are going to be. They're going to be part of the story, but they're going to be separate. So they're not going to be part of the 5 web series. So the web series is going to pick up where the second one left off.
Gotcha.
And probably be like some flashbacks and stuff like that. But so we just going to, each episode is either going to explore him, explore a friend or a family member around him, explore like a situation him or a family and friend member may be in. But everything is going to kind of still tie back to him and who he is.
At the end.
Because, this is such a really intricate story, and you can't know the character until you know the people around the character.
Right.
And that's just like in real life.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You meet somebody like, man, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you meet his parents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Then you'll understand why he's an asshole, and you develop some empathy. And that's another thing that's big in my work is like empathy and understanding. You get to understand why people are the way they are, and you don't necessarily have to agree with it, but it helps you become a better person yourself, helps you navigate situations better and everything like that. So.
Right, you can, your eyes are opened up to an experience that you've never ever lived before, never thought was possible, and like I said, even if you just change one person, man, that's like the goal has been achieved.
Yeah.
So other than that web series, or what kind of other passion projects you got in the works or in mind, or?
So I got another short film that's kind of dealing with mental health. I'm still writing that one, so I'm not sure when that'll be out. And then I have a creative agency that I started with my business partner. His name is Jackson, and we are basically working with like different brands and businesses around St. Louis and around the country even, and mainly focusing on kind of like campaign work. So kind of like St. Louis made, more stuff like that, curating events and you know, just making an impact within the people around us. You know, so giving back and you know, volunteering and things like that. So so yeah, that's another big thing that I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I know you touched a little bit on the St. Louis Made. That was just a web series that you put together, right? You shot that with Vess and who else?
It was just me and Vess.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I started out with Vess doing just like some social media work, so like pictures and video clips for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook, and then I pitched the idea of St. Louis Made to them. Because
so that was your idea.
Yeah. Because a friend of mine, his name's Lamont McGee. He's a magician, and he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, see you working with Vess. Let's like do a little collaboration." So we shot like 2 30-second clips of him doing some magic tricks with Vess cans, and I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, hell
and
yeah.
I was like, I know so many like dope people like Lamont, you know, around the city, and I had this platform. Why not, you know, make something bigger of it? So I pitched the idea to them, and they were down for it from the jump.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know, a hometown company repping with the hometown
Man,
kid,
for real.
making sure you know it all stays here. That's like I said, that's the stuff that people don't see about this city.
Yeah.
You know, like there is so much love. You know, we do have the highest murder rate per capita in the entire country, but it's like. There's so much love in the city.
There's still a lot here. There's still a lot of good stuff here.
So what kind of changes have you seen in the city? Because I mean, you're ingrained in the community as much as anyone else, or if not more than most people. And so over the last few years, whether it's in the art scene or just in the city in general, what are some big changes you've noticed as in lifestyle for everyone?
One of the big things is being an artist is a lot more accepted now. So like back in 2011 when I first started doing stuff, and even before then, people weren't really pursuing the arts. I think it wasn't cool to like be an artist, and not to say that like that's the reason to be an artist, but like back then. There weren't like art shows. There weren't big art shows. Right. People coming out, people buying art. That was unheard of. Nobody was buying local art, 4 or 5 years ago. And then a lot more people just like being interested and open to like pursuing, their passions in art. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are like passionate about something or like artistically, but they were like, I'm not gonna pursue that. It's not gonna make any money. I'm not gonna do this and that.
And that's what hangs up most people is like, oh, I love this. I absolutely love this, but can I make money off of it? Well, absolutely. If you love it, if you love something enough, you can always find a way to get paid for it. Like it's just, are you willing to accept that lifestyle?
Exactly.
And people are so afraid of change and the unknown. They let this other unknown go by them, and they don't even. They know they're not going to enjoy this, but they still live it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's really dope just to see like art being embraced so much more, and then just like a lot more camaraderie like from the art scene and from like the events of Ferguson, unfortunate events of Ferguson and everything like that.
I think that was a big turn in the city.
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, there. Not only were people coming from all over the country, to make sure that one, the city was okay and that things were going to be fine, but I think it really left a mark. And you've spent way more time, like I said, in the community than I could even hold a candle to. So I mean, I like I said, from my outside opinion, I think that was a big change.
Yeah, it brought a lot of people together. It opened a lot of eyes that like shit is still messed up out here. And it also just kind of like like I said, it brought people together and, you know, made everybody realize that, like, life is short. It's a lot of change and a lot of work that we need to do. We got to come together. Nobody can do it alone. So it was just, it was huge. It was a huge change.
Yeah, man, it's definitely, like I said, you can see it from the outside looking in. But like, I was just interested to see, you know, somebody who's actually ingrained in, you know, in the community. Like, I grew up in St. Charles County. I grew up in O'Fallon. Like, you know, other side of the bridge, you know, for most of my life was a foreign world. You know what I'm saying? White picket fences. There's no public transportation. You don't have to deal with, you know, pretty much any adversity at all. And, you know, for, you know, a young kid to be gunned down in the middle of the street, like, it's not fair for anybody, white, black, green, brown, whatever. Like, regardless of what happened, there's other ways, you know, situations should be handled. And I think just that's, I say small event, but, you know, it's one thing, really. And how many of those events are happening throughout the country every single day, through every year? But, like, for something like that to happen here, like, the ripple effect that it has caused has been monumentous, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, you know, I didn't want to take too much time out of your day today, but like I said, I fucking greatly appreciate you sitting down with me, man. You've been a fan for a long time.
Appreciate you hitting me up.
Anything else you want to plug or anything else you want to do before we rock out of here?
I just say stay tuned. We got some more stuff coming. So.
Oh yeah, and drop your Instagram and your Twitter one more time for everybody.
Yeah, so both Twitter and Instagram is @ChillSeason. And then, you can find me on both of those platforms.
Okay, hell yeah, man. All right, appreciate it, dog.
All right, for sure.